pushback over the leadership of the ADCs. Bolaji Abdullah has reacted to say those who are saying that the court has restrained the David Mark-led leadership is fake news. And faction of Rivers APC today met with the national chairman of the APC in Abuja, seeking reconciliation, unity, and a way forward for the party. Hello everyone, welcome to the program. This is Politics Today, live on Channels Television. I am Sean Kimale here in Abuja. So much that we need to dig on. From yesterday, we had a conversation with Malam Bolaji Abdullah, who is a spokesperson of the ADC, after Inec has recognized David Mark, Rauf Aregbesola, and some others as the authentic leadership of the party. We're getting reactions to that effect, where those who say that these persons are imposters and taking over the party from through the back door. There was an emergence of a federal high court ruling, which in some quarters misinterpreted, and the ADC said this is fake news. And of course, we're seeing some kind of politicking in Rivers State that's crept into Abuja. And you ask the question, after the exit of Rotimi Amaechi from the APC in Rivers State, where does it leave the party? Who is the leader of the party? With Minister Nyesom Wike's one leg in the PDP, and those who say they can see his other leg in the APC. What exactly is the way forward? We'll be dissecting these issues for you tonight. But before we get talking, everyone, let's check out some of your political roundup stories.
The Federal High Court sitting in Abuja has convicted and sentenced Mahmoud Usman, one of the commanders of Ansaru, of proscribed terrorist organizations, to 15 years imprisonment. The convict, who was arraigned by the Department of State Service, pleaded guilty to the charge of illegal mining activities, which enable him to acquire arms for terrorism and kidnapping purposes. The trial judge, Justice Emeka Nwauju, however, ordered the defendant to be remanded in the custody of the Department of State Service pending his trial for 31 other charges preferred against him by the service. In a separate charge, the DSS equally arraigned a suspected gun runner, Huzaifa Haruna, on charges of alleged transportation of 7 M16 assault rifles from Dogo village in Barkinadi local government area of Plateau State to Wanwalkiri Jude in Wase local government area, also of Plateau State. But the plea of not guilty by the defendant, counsel to the Department of State expresses preparedness for a speedy trial. A retired Justice of the Court of Appeal, Justice Oladoto Adefokwe Okoje, says Nigeria will only succeed if the judiciary opposes the tenets of professionalism, righteousness, and anti-corruption, as it is the soul of the nation. Justice Adefokwe Okoje stated this at the launch of a book in Abuja, where she also appreciates the impact of some of the dignitaries in attendance, including former Vice President of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, the 14th Emir of Kano, His Majesty Sanusi Lamido, former Justice of the Supreme Court, Honorable Justice Amina Orji, among others. The governor of Ekiti State, Mr. Abiodun Oyebanji, is appealing to the leadership of the All Progressives Congress (APC) to help his state break the jinx of second-term reproach. Speaking in Abuja while submitting his nomination and expression of interest forms at the Party National Secretariat to seek re-election in the 2026 governorship election in Ekiti State, Governor Oyebanji notes that since the creation of the state, no government has done a second term at a stretch. Governor Oyebanji asked that with the development recorded in a state under his administration, there was a need for the party to help remove the phenomenon from the state and break what he described as a jinx. Meanwhile, the governor of Adamawa State, Umaru Fintiri, has appealed to members of the People's Democratic Party in the state to keep faith with the party towards consolidating the visible developmental strides achieved in Adamawa State under his stewardship in the past 6 years. Governor Fintiri stated this during a meeting of the stakeholders of the party in Yola, where he says the party is making history in the governance in Adamawa, urging members to remain steadfast and be proud of the legacy of the party. In Ondo State, a group of women in Ondo State APC has mobilized women from the 18 local government areas of the state in support of the re-election of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2027. The women converged in Akure, the state capital, to strategize and plan ahead of the election. The leaders of the group commend the renewed open initiative of the Tinubu administration, noting that they are fully in support of President Tinubu's transformation agenda. The All Progressives Congress has continued the sensitization and mobilization of members for the ongoing voter registration exercise in Taraba State. The Deputy National Woman Leader of the party, Zainab Ibrahim, insists that the only way that the state can support President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is through active participation in voting exercise, and she asks that citizens should use the power of the PVC to vote out any underperforming leader in the country. Lastly, to Kwara State, where politicians have been cautioned against exploiting poverty and diversity as tools for political mobilization ahead of the 2027 general elections. The warning came during the official launch of the One Kwara Agenda, OKA, a civic advocacy and engagement platform committed to fostering unity, fairness, and merit-based leadership across the state. Convener of the group, Femi Adetola, in the press conference, says the initiative was conceived as a timely response to the growing tide of divisive politics that has increasingly pitched communities, faiths, and regions against one another.
Much everyone for staying with us on the program. So we're getting reaction to a court order which has emerged, and the confusion into how it's being reported today is about the leadership of the APC. And a member, the state chairman of APC in Gombe State, Nafi Bala, and that court order has gotten a lot of interpretation, which Bolaji Abdullahi, the spokesperson of the ADC, is reacting to, say that they like to set the record straight regarding false report currently circulating in the media about the recent ruling of the Federal High Court concerning the leadership of the party. It says there have been misinterpretation of the court order. It says the order was duly signed and issued by Honorable Justice Emeka Nwite, presiding judge, and certified by Kashope Kafayat. And that at no point did the order say that the leadership led by the David Mark and Rauf Arabishola should stop functioning as a national chairman and national secretary of the ADC, respectively. Instead, the Honorable Court refused the ex-party application brought by Honorable Nafiu Bala Gombe and directed that the matter proceed with due course. The ruling was delivered by Honorable Justice Emeka Nwite on the 4th of September 2025. Since the publication by Inec yesterday showcasing David Mark and some others as a leadership of the ADC yesterday, we got a lot of reaction to what Malam Bolaji Abdullahi says on the program. So we're getting the other side of the divide in this conversation. I'm being joined on this conversation by the ADC presidential candidate in the 2023 election. Mr. Dumebi Kachikwu is live for us tonight. Thanks so much indeed for joining us.
Thanks for having me once again, Sean.
Yeah. When I asked Malam Bolaji Abdullahi yesterday, he said he's not aware of any court order stopping or against the leadership of the ADC. And he said categorically that all your effort and those of you who are against the David Mark leadership are making your efforts in vain, and that you just want to destroy democracy.
Sean, like I say, anytime Bolaji is speaking, Bolaji is a man on the budget, and he has to defend the budget he's collected from people for the publicity of their vehicle. They do know that they are on borrowed time. Nigerians as a whole know that the David Mark led faction of ADC, that they are on borrowed time. There are several cases in court. What we saw from the Inec chairman yesterday, Mahmoud, was again another irresponsible act from the outgoing chairman of Inec. He's a man who has consistently disobeyed court orders. It's the norm that when you have cases that are in court, that you respect those cases that are in court, and you shouldn't do anything that might affect the outcome of those cases. So knowing that he's a party to several cases in court concerning the ADC, he ought not to have made any pronouncement or taken any action concerning the ADC. But as usual, for an irresponsible person like him, he made a pronouncement. The courts are sitting on our matter with David Mark and co. Next month, and Nigerians will see the rulings after the court sits.
There seems to be some jubilation on your side. Those who have heard, who called me and said, have you seen the court order? And those who are on your side, those who are your supporters, those who are on this other side of the divide, who are happy. But unfortunately, the court orders seem to have said something different to what they believe. Those who erroneously thought that the court order says that David Mark, Arabishala, and the rest should not function as the leadership of the party, but the court did not say that. The court is actually saying they should come before it, and the defendant, which is the David Mark, Arabishala, and the rest, should appear before it, and the court refused to issue an ex parte order against these persons. Why does it look like those of you who are on this side are quick to wanting, those who say they want to help Nigeria and help Nigerians to put a competition to the ruling party in place? And they seem to feel on this side that some of you on the other side have been bought by the APC ruling government.
Sheon, you have to look at the antecedents of those who make such accusations, people like Bolaji and those he represents. These are the people who have brought Nigeria to ruin. These are the people who have absolutely nothing to show for their years of leadership. These are people who've entrusted precious responsibility to these people, and they failed woefully. So it's amusing when we see these people say they want to come and rescue Nigeria. Like I said last time I was here, you can't set a house on fire and then say you are the fire brigade who wants to put this fire out. They are the people that are ruining Nigeria. Take every single one of them. They are a bunch of former this, former that, former this, former that. And if they had leadership that we could look to and say, these guys did well for Nigeria, Nigerians today will not be complaining. Nigerians today will not be saying that this country is a failed nation. But the reason why they're saying Nigeria is a failed nation is because these guys all failed. So what are they trying to come and do? Which nation are they trying to rescue? Nation are they destroyed? Absolutely not. These guys are people who cannot stay outside the political office, who don't have anything that they do for a living, and the only thing they need to do is to come back into political office so that they can start feathering their nest again and taking care of their friends and their families. That's all these guys are looking for. They don't have any clue as to what to do with power when they get power, and that's why they failed woefully. And that's why if we make the mistake of letting these guys come near power again, they will further destroy Nigeria.
But I mean, is going to court. Why don't you find other alternatives? Honorable Leke Abejide is in court. You are in court. Nafiu Gombe is in court. And there are a few others. I'm aware of about 5 or 6 cases about the ADC in court. To what end do you guys want to destroy the party, or what? To what end are you fighting this battle?
It's very simple, Sheon. We cannot let people who have destroyed their parties, the PDP, Labour, and other parties they are coming from, we can't let them come and destroy this party that we're trying to reform and rebuild. If these guys have any decency, if they have any shame whatsoever, they are coming from parties. What's wrong with the party they are coming from? Why can't they build those parties? But they're a bunch of shameless people. That's why they come and look at the ADC and say, you know what, we have a tool that we can use. Guess what's happening, Sheon? You know what? Across the country, they've come in and all they are doing is suspending party chairmen at all levels of the party, removing them and putting people they believe they are so-called elites who can only be the front of the party. That is, people they met there are not good enough. This is what we are seeing. But like I said, I believe in the Nigerian judiciary. I believe that ultimately they will decide the outcome of this case. I have never had any faith in the Inec chairman's ability to do anything concerning this, because it's one of the worst, the biggest mistakes we've made as a country. And I'm glad that he's leaving, but we know that the courts will ultimately decide and we'll see the outcome.
So you are not happy that Inec published those names yesterday?
I didn't expect him to do anything otherwise. I knew that as the Inec chairman was leaving, I knew, excuse my friend, that he was going to give the president a big middle finger, and he was going to do anything to show his displeasure towards the president, and that's what he did. I've said this, I knew that this was what he was going to do, and he did it. Of course, he waited just a few weeks before leaving so he could do it, and then, I mean, of course, no remorse, there's nothing anybody can say to him. He's gone, and again, you will see what, with the politics of Nigeria, I mean, when people have had dealings and have things that they've done, that they are hiding, nobody can say anything to him because they can't afford to expose each other, and so he's done what he's done. But unfortunately, my party, the party of Nigerians who are trying to see how they can repair or rebuild Nigeria, we are the victims here. And when two elephants are fighting, the grass is the victim. And we ADC, we are the grass in this case.
You look at it in all ramification. The ADC, led by the David Mark, they look a bit more organized, and they're saying that they want to reform the party and make the party the kind of political party everyone will want to join. Don't you think it is time for you to align with them and join forces with them, since you also said you want to reform the party?
So, I ask this question again. If you hear that you have a bunch of terrorists who have destroyed Kaduna, they've killed, they kidnapped, and these guys are saying that they are on their way to Abuja, that Mr. Wike is not doing a good job, that they don't like him, that his guy lost his this and that and all that stuff, and they want to come and save Abuja residents, right, from Mr. Wike, what do you look at? Do you look at what these guys did in Kaduna, or do you look at Mr. Wike and what he's doing here in Abuja? Or do you look at the fact and say, are these terrorists, are they the only people who can save Abuja residents from Mr. Wike? Now, my question to you, Sheun, are you saying that in a country of over 200 million people, a bunch of geriatrics, a bunch of former this, former that they are the only people who can mount a rescue mission to save Nigerians from the professional politicians we've had for the last 4 decades? Are you saying that my generation, your generation, the generation after us, that they don't have anything worthwhile to offer in service to fatherland? Are you saying that people who have ballooned our debts, who are people who are known worldwide as a bunch of corrupt politicians, who are people who have not provided any infrastructure, that will have nothing to show for it, that our children are dying in hospitals, that our children don't have any proper classrooms, that we don't have any roads with which to travel, that our currency has completely failed, and you are telling that the same people who brought us to this point, that they are the same people who you're telling me are going to save us from themselves?
Are we to expect some saints to come and do the job?
Now, Sheun, let me tell you this. I believe that we have Nigerians who have got what it takes to save this country. I tell you what, Sheun, we are taking Nigerians for granted. We believe that because Nigerians have kept quiet all this while, that we have a silent majority that we take for granted. But Sheun, trust me, soon and very soon, you will see and you will hear from this silent majority. People have had enough of these politicians. People have had enough of these people who feel they can take Nigerians for granted. Because it's the height of arrogance for anybody you see in that lineup to come and say that they are the ones who have what it takes to rescue Nigeria. It's the height of arrogance. But I'm telling you, Sheun, you know what? Nepal is child's play compared to what will happen in this country someday if these people don't cease and desist from their reckless actions.
I'm asking, are they sent to fix this country?
Absolutely. We cannot say because we have a bunch of politicians who are corrupt, who have failed in what they said they are going to do, that it means that the remaining Nigerians are failures also. Absolutely not. We have Nigerians who have got what it takes, Sheun, and I'm telling you, Sheun, watch and see. Time shall come, right, when we will see these people rise and say, enough is enough. Never again. We'll never have this kind of people say they want to rule us again. We can fool people for just a short time, but we cannot fool them all the time. You will see what's going to happen in this country very soon.
So you are saying to Nigerians that do not take the Rotimi Amechi, the David Mark, the Aregbe Shola, the Peter Obi of this world seriously.
I am saying to
the Atiku Abubakar.
I am saying to Nigerians that look at our history in the last 30 years. And the names you've mentioned are the names they've had in the last 30 years. Look at the state of our nation today. Look at the fact that the middle class of Nigeria has jackpot and left Nigeria. We don't have doctors in our hospitals. We don't have nurses. We don't have teachers. We don't have bankers. Everyone is trying to leave Nigeria legally and illegally. Because the same people you mentioned have ruled Nigeria for the last 30 years, Sheung. For the last 30 years. And so, Sheung, when you say to me, before all Nigerians, that these are the people who want to rescue us from themselves, I laugh in Latin, Sheung. I laugh in Latin. They have nothing, absolutely nothing to offer Nigerians.
So where do we turn?
Now, I say to Nigerians, we can't keep on mourning and bemoaning our fate. Patriotism demands that instead of that beer parlor gossip and complaints, the time has come for us to man up, to stand up, to face the Herculean challenges before us as a people. Rather than complaining in your house, it's time for you to look for a credible party, join that party, and run for office. Offer yourself, because when you don't offer yourself, these people are the only people that continue to make themselves available because you don't want to stain yourself. Sometimes you might have to stain yourself, like what's happening now, because I never saw myself as being the person who will sit here and be having this kind of irrelevant, irresponsible conversations about these politicians. But it's something I just said to myself, how long can I continue? My father bequeathed a nation to me that didn't work. Should I bequeath such a nation to my children? For how long do we continue complaining without doing something about it? That's why I ran for office. That's why I'm running for office. And that's why I'm encouraging all young men and women out there who are patriotic, who have a patriotic fervor in them to man up and run for office. Don't believe that these people are the only people who have something to offer this country. Let me tell you, Nigerians, do you know how you can identify who these people really are? In the last 1 year, since they started talking 2027, you've heard them say everything wrong with this country. You heard them say everything that this president has not done right or could have done better. But you will never hear these men and women tell you what they will do in any who have nothing to offer. But you never hear them say this is their solution for our infrastructure deficits, our economic problems, our social issues, any issue whatsoever you're talking about. You will never hear these guys offer any solution whatsoever. But what they are good at doing, Sheung, is always saying stuff like, this person is not doing this.
So they are saying that with the stage
they should
of
take their alternative to PDP, Sheung.
Yeah, but some of them left the PDP. They are saying that the state of the country demands that some Nigerians who have seen it all should stand up before the things go more awry, and that the fact that we are in a dangerous path. Those are the narratives that they have established in the whole conversation.
Sheung, these guys should stay in their party, the PDP or any other party they are coming from. If they want to rescue Nigeria, they should rescue Nigeria from that party. But you don't destroy your party and come to a party where young Nigerians, where ordinary Nigerians are trying to see what they can do about salvaging our nation.
But what have you made of that party? You came fifth in the last election.
And she will tell you what. I came fifth in the last election, and only God knows what will happen in the next election. But tell you what, Sheung.
You think you can defeat the government of the day?
Sheung will tell you what.
Without the coalition and the opposition coming together?
Sheung, you know what? I will rather stand alone with a few Nigerians who are clear about what they want, who are clear about what they want to do, who have got integrity, who are focused and determined to actually rescue Nigeria, than be with a bunch of people who have failed Nigeria, who have destroyed Nigeria, and who are looking for an opportunity to continue to loot this country.
But when you say they have all failed Nigeria, but they're decent, they are good people, you just paint every one of them with the same brush.
Let me ask you a question. if you know that you have entered a vehicle, right, with about 6 people, and you know that the driver of that vehicle is a known criminal, right? That all the antecedents say that he's a criminal. If you have any good intentions, if you're a man of integrity, will you join that vehicle? Chemo, you know the answer to that question. You will not. There's no one who has genuine intentions who will say, I want to be in the same boat with these people who have failed and who have destroyed Nigeria. The question I'm asking you, Shewan, and I'm asking all Nigerians, are you saying that in a country of over 200 million people, about 100 people who have consistently failed Nigerians are the only people who can do right by Nigeria?
To wrap this up, you are not backing down.
I ask you a question.
No, I mean, I asked the question.
Yeah,
it's a rhetorical question.
This is a question you as a Nigerian can answer.
No, because I'm a journalist in this sense, I'm not supposed to answer that question.
No, you can as a Nigerian.
No, but I mean that my job here in this moment.
You agree with me that Nigeria has not worked for the last 30 years, right?
Well, I mean, it's for
I hear you say that every day. Actually,
it's for the Nigerian people.
No, I hear you say that all the time. So you agree with me that Nigeria has not worked for the last.
If I'm answering you, that means I'm pandering to your narrative.
If you say that all the time, so you know that
I'm supposed to stand in the middle,
and that these are the people who've led Nigeria for the last 30 years, and that these are the same people. Sheon will tell you something. We can joke about this, but I tell you what, Sheon, Nigeria is bleeding at the seams. People are actually suffering. These people have failed Nigeria, Sheon. I feel sorry for my children. I feel sorry for the ordinary Nigerians, Sheon. They have a bleak future, a very bleak future. Their future is more bleak because they can't look forward to a tomorrow, because when we talk about tomorrow, we speak about these people. That's what makes this a crying shame, Sheon. Other nations laugh at us. They see us at a critical time like this when we should come up with fresh ideas, new faces, bold people. We speak about men of yesteryears, men whose energies are failing, men who have had nothing to offer in the past and who expect to perform miracles going forward. The world is watching us. The world is laughing at us. You see what's happening in America? They're revoking our visas. They're not letting us come in. You see what's happening in Dubai? You see what's happening in Doha? The world is saying, you know what? We cannot continue allowing you guys to fail. Go and solve your problems. And that means every Nigerian man and woman of firm mind should be patriotic and stand against these people and say enough is enough. We need to rescue our nation.
We need to go. So you are going ahead with that lawsuit?
Absolutely.
You are not backing down?
Absolutely, Sheon. Absolutely.
Okay. We'll see how that goes. Mr. Dumebi Kachikwu is a presidential candidate of the ADC in the 2023 presidential election. Thanks so much indeed for your time tonight. I appreciate it. We're going to break, everyone, but when we return, I'll take you deep into the rivers of APC and its leadership crisis. We'll be right back. They stormed Abuja, but it does look like the storm in that party is rearing his head, and this time around, very greatly. Darlington Nwauju will be joining us after this break. You know what they say about Rivers politics is always coming with a lot of controversies, complexities. And sometimes the more you look in Rivers politics, the less you see or the less you understand. Today we saw, how would I refer to them now? Because they will say they have a valid court order affirming them as the authentic leadership of the APC in Rivers State. But then there are those who disagree, and those who think that Rivers APC is has a controversial leadership. But today they met with the national chairman of the APC, Mr. Nwauju, and at that meeting, issues of unity came up. Let me allow you first to listen to the national chairman of the APC.
That common prosperity is better than destroying what we have. We've created an environment for us to have that prosperity as a country. We've seen a jump in terms of the revenue of the country. And the Northwest sector is contributing the largest part of our own internal revenue. And to me, these are the good elements that the president is talking about the renew. That's the true renew corp agenda. And lastly, is for me to ask that let's restore peace in our party and in our state. As the state of emergency come to an end, let's build a democracy. Let's come in to support the government. Let's come in to ensure that all the things of the let bygone be bygone and look at the future of the state, future of River State, and build a River State that is peaceful,
yes,
is prosperous,
amen,
and look at the future of our nation.
Amen.
And thank you and God bless you.
That's the national chairman of the APC. So the leader of that delegation also spoke, and their worries about the situation of things are so bad that they say it was the people in the PDP who filled the position of the APC, and that those whom they met in the APC, none of them even got, even if they got deputy chairman of the local government in the last election, they may have been happy, but they were totally sidelined. Well, it's re-echoed by the leader of that delegation, and he summarized it this way. Take a listen to it.
We are here to thank the good people of River State for voting for us in the last local government election. We are candidates of this party. We emerged as chairmen from different local governments, and we are here to tell River State to remain calm and continue to consolidate to the vision and mission of Mr. President's Renew Hope agenda. And I am happy that today peace has come to River State. And I want to thank the good people of River State for their show of support to Mr. President. Mr. President have done well. Mr. President have done well in this country. Mr. President have done well in River State. Today there is peace. There is calmness. Activities are on top gear. We are here to thank Mr. President for nurturing us during our humble beginning.
All right, then. I guess that's Fubara Dagogo, isn't it? Let's get to talk about this. I'm being joined by Honorable Darlington Nwauju, who is a fractional publicity secretary of the APC in River State. Thanks so much for joining us tonight.
Sean, thank you for having me. Good evening, Nigerians. But I would like to say that you cannot afford to lend this platform to the sort of brigandage that we saw during the time of Ganduje, wherein court orders were flagrantly disobeyed, our own party constitution was assaulted. So I believe that the media should, as it were, not lend credence to the sort of rubbish that we saw, where we saw ourselves in court for 9 long months. And at the end of the day, thanks to the courts, the pronouncement was made. And you know that something similar was done in Benue State. And the courts also rose to say, no, you cannot go against your own very constitution. And so if you refer to me as fractional, that will be going against the judgment of court, which I am aware, as at this moment, no higher court has set aside or even issued a stay of execution of judgment which recognizes Chief Emeka Beke as chairman of APC in River State.
So you belong to the Beke side?
If you say side again, I would disagree with you. There are no sides.
Where is Tony Okocha?
There is only but one APC. Because in Nigeria, there is a national secretariat of our party at 40 Blantyre Street, and it has one national chairman, Professor Nantawe, who is doing fantastically well as at today. And so you are talking of members of party, but we are talking of leadership of party. The party is led by Chief Emeka Beke.
Who is Tony Okocha in your party?
He's a member of the party.
He used to be the chairman of your party.
He used to. Now, let me say this.
Because these are the contentions, Darlington.
This may be the contentions that have been created.
Those who hear you being called the public secretary,
they are mainly creations of the media.
You guys are...
No, they are creations of the media. Let me say this.
You know the problem. You know the
there
problem.
Are.
Just a moment.
Because we cannot speak without empirical facts and evidences. So I have a background in the sciences, even though I've cross-carpeted to the arts. But there are things you cannot just do. Everything in the sciences is methodical. You need to follow methods. And so if we are to go by methods, I cannot sit down here and accept or agree that something that should not be, and the law, the courts have made pronouncements. You want me to accept it? I cannot accept it. So
you are publicity secretary of the APC? I am the
publicity secretary of APC.
Okay, so let's move forward. So that the meat of the conversation tonight, we are not losing
exactly.
it. So if that is what makes you happy in the moment, let me call you by what makes you happy.
It is not what makes me happy.
Darlington Nwauju,
it is what
publicity secretary of the APC in Rivers State.
The cause only reaffirmed what the Congress did on the 16th of October 2021.
I have not read that judgment.
My tenure is still running.
Okay, so let's get to the conversation.
Yes.
I saw some of your colleagues there,
yes.
Gogo and the rest,
yes.
who met.
No, candidates of APC in the last election.
And they are unhappy that at the end of the day, those who emerged were imported from PDP and became the candidates, and they used the platform of the party. What is really going on in your party in APC?
Now, you may argue that a lot of the issues that are being thrown up are mainly legal issues. And so I do not have the legalese to begin to explain away all those issues. However, what I know that is sacrosanct is the truth. And the truth is that whereas there is a valid leadership of the All Progressive Congress in Rivers State, led by Chief Emeka Bekee. And that leadership, empowered by Article 13 sub 9 of the APC Constitution amended in March of 2022, has gone through the necessary processes to nominate these persons as candidates of our party for the August 30th elections. And so we, like I said before, I love and I enjoy being methodical in whatever discussions I hold because of my background. And here I can show you evidences. We have screening committees that screen these candidates, and they finally emerged as candidates of our party. In fact, I came here with results of all the local government areas, all.
So what then happened if they emerged from your own Emeka Bekee conducted primaries? What then happened to them?
Now, let me say this. Prior to the 30th of August elections in the state, there were issues. In fact, we had initially thought that we had our fears about the process and also the issues of transparency. But at the end of the day, the State Working Committee of the party decided that we were going to go ahead in order to prove our strength to the people of Rivers and indeed to Nigerians, that we are well able to run elections and win in Rivers State. Notwithstanding the kind of unnecessary and irrelevant blackmail that has attended our tenure. But at the end of the day, after making nominations to the RISEC leadership, here is a letter. Here are letters written to the RISEC. I have copies of these letters. After making these necessary correspondences, in fact, the RISEC, two commissioners of the RISEC gave different interpretations to our correspondences. And that was when I, for one, knew that something was wrong somewhere. And so at the end of the day, they decided for themselves who the authentic APC is in Rivers State.
Because of our time, yes. Right? Because of our time. So the RCEC in this last local government election ignored the Emeka Beke candidates.
Yes.
And took Tony Okocha candidates.
Yes.
Is that what happened?
That was what happened. And so because the claim or the excuse was that we never wrote to them or expressed interest in running the elections. And so
you have the correspondence.
They are here before you and before Nigerians. And so we wrote to them, indicating to them and also warning of the dangers of interfacing with persons who are unknown to law and who are also unknown to the party. As far as this party is concerned, there is a leadership of the party. And so we wrote to them, and we, flowing from that, sent in names of our candidates, of which the likes of Fubara, of course, we looked at the election timetable that was published by the RISEC, of course. And you know,
did you get a confirmation and a receipt of your application, submission of your application?
Please, those are endorsement and return letters. Of your letter. Those are endorsement and return. Now, let me also add that what is playing out, I wouldn't want to, because it's already, I wouldn't want it to amount to sub judice, because this matter is already in court. And I believe, and our candidates also do believe strongly in our party for fairness, especially under the new leadership. I must tell you that the new national chairman of the party, Professor Nantawe, is a brilliant mind and has come with so much administrative acumen and openness, which we never had before. And I can tell you for free that if we had had him as national chairman prior to this period, we wouldn't have had any reason to go to court.
Mr. Darlington, let me ask you. Rotimi Amaechi has left. He was the leader of your party before he left for ADC.
Yes.
But as your party suddenly become an orphan, who is now the leader of your party?
You cannot say, there is no way a political party can be seen as an orphan, because
who is the leader of your party?
It is a conglomeration
who is the leader of your party in Rivers State today?
As of today, the party has its last national, the last governorship candidate. We have Pastor Tony, who was candidate of our party in 2023, and by our convention, the person who is or who was the flag bearer of the party at that level should give the party a direction.
Is he doing that?
And if you structurally...
Is he doing that?
What do you need to run?
I'm asking, it's a straight question. Is he giving you the direction?
The question is, what do you need to run on a day-to-day basis? There is a state working committee led by Chief Emeka Beke.
Why can't you answer the question straight?
No, hold on.
You said he's the leader of the party.
No, hold on.
Is he giving the direction?
It is not the leader. It is not the leader. Do not misconstrue my use of words. It is not the leader that dictates the day-to-day activities of a political party.
All right, give me a moment.
It is the state working committee.
Give me a moment.
And Chief Emeka Beke is doing perfectly that.
Let me go on another break. And when we come back, what is the way forward? They are in court. Nentawe Yowada is intervening in this matter. Does that resolve it? Where do you place Wike in the whole scenario? We'll be right back after this break. Thank you so much, everyone. Quickly, before we get back into the conversation, let's tell you that 14 out of the over 170 requests for party registration have now been confirmed to go to the next level. The Independent National Electoral Commission, Inec, has come out to say that based on his recent meeting, that each request was assessed on the basis of his prima facie compliance with the provisions of Section 222 of the Constitution. And out of the total number of applications received, 14 associations have now met the requirement to proceed to the next stage, while 157 have not. The Commission says it will now communicate the decision arising from their meeting today to the association within the next 24 hours. And the pre-qualified 14 associations have now been published on its website. The commission is also asking for a meeting with the interim chairman and secretaries of the P-Qualified Association for a meeting on the 17th of this month at 11 a.m. at the commission's headquarters in Abuja. Our closing moment now with Mr. Darlington Nwauju. He said he's not factional, but well, Mr. Nwauju, is it true that Mr. Wike is in charge of your party?
Well, I am not aware. What I'm aware of is that, and the fact out there, and within our party, is the fact that he is not a member of the All Progressive Congress. And the party constitution has a spelled out way of for membership of party. Article 9 is clear. Or you approach the State Working Committee for waivers or the National Working Committee for waivers. I'm aware he has not approached.
So the reason why I'm asking this question is that you look at the lists as submitted by the Tony Okocha, those who emerged as candidates and winners in that local government election. A lot of them are linked to supporters, allies of Mr. Wike, and that those who say in some ways that Mr. Wike is the one who is really in charge of your party.
Well, what the thing I can say to you now and here is the fact that those persons are not members of the All Progressive Congress.
So they are APC candidates who have won that election.
And we have members of the party who are in fact legacy members from CPC, ACN, and ANPP who were nominated, the likes of Ambassador Fubra Dagogo, who were nominated rightfully by the legitimate leadership of APC in Rivers State.
We need to go now,
and we
Mr.
leave the cause to decide
what do you think is the way out for your party?
Well, the way out of the seeming quagmire in Rivers APC is to accept the fact that as of today, the only leadership of the All Progressive Congress is that led by Chief Emeka Duke. And if we accept that, we will now create a platform or a window to move forward.
All right. Darlington Nwauju, factional publicity secretary of the APC in Rivers State. Darlington, factional.
No.
That's our show for tonight, everyone. I love to annoy this guy. That's our show. Many thanks for watching. I'm Show Akimale. God bless Nigeria.